Well, hello everyone from Krakow, Poland today. I'm actually talking from my little loft. You can see my little bedroom. I get a feel for, you know, I hotels here are more like a closet, and there's a little loft that I'm in tonight. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're getting back from another glorious day at the border. Got to help a ton of people. It was great. It did pick up quite a bit. We have learned that, and I'll play some video here in a little bit. We crossed into Ukraine yesterday to try to take some supplies and some things to folks. And while there, speaking with some military guys, air raid sirens went off, and so we had to take off. And it's an interesting feeling when you see that stuff on TV, and you ought to be on the street when it happens. Anyways. The little town we were in did not get shelled, but you'll know from the news that Lviv did get shelled. The train tracks that are bringing the refugees here, it looks like they blew up 5 of the train tracks and a power grid for the trains. So that's why our border has been slow, in addition to the holiday. But later on this afternoon, we started busload after busload after busload were coming in. So they're getting here. A lot of people are having to hire their own drivers now, and that's getting quite expensive for people to get out because it's kind of a daring feat for a lot of folks. But anyways, that's our day. I'll play some of that at the end here for you. You'll get a sense of what that feels like, running from bombs coming at you. Who knew, right? Anyways, but it's been a great day. We also, maybe I'll throw some video on here too from another lady that was working with us. We had a family that showed up at the border that had come out of the hills, and we're seeing more and more of that, where people who are leaving the cities are going out and living on their own, but they've run out of food and rations, and so they've aborted and ended up at the border, but they came with nothing, just the clothes on their backs. They had t-shirts on, and it was about 38 degrees, 36 degrees, and it started pouring. And all of us were freezing to death. And one of the groups, some of the ladies in the group that we had, went over to them and gave them their coats. Just an act of kindness that it was tender to watch. And just the reception of the people that they were giving up their coats to them. Because here's the thing, when we get cold, we just go into a building or something, right? We just go find a place to get warm. We don't have a place. So you just get cold. So these ladies gave up their coats. So maybe I'll throw a little piece of video of one of the interviews with the ladies there. It was pretty cool. But that's day 2 back here in Poland and in Ukraine. One of the most interesting days, but uplifting as well. We're seeing that the mission's changing just a bit. We're seeing a lot more desire for things to be taken into the Ukraine. Yesterday, we tried to raise some funds for baby products and women hygiene products, and we bought a boatload of it, filled a bunch of vans. Some of the group that we had filled a van full of supplies and got them into the country. So we're probably going to be doing a lot more of that before we're done. I hope the border can stay slow, because that means that people aren't in such a bad shape. But talking to the military guys, they said that's not the case, that people are in bad shape. They're just going from town to town to town to town, and most can't get out of the country. They don't have the documentation, or they have no place to go. So they're kind of just running around the country trying to stay ahead of the Russians. So anyways, thanks again for everybody's support. Thank you for helping us raise funds to continue to help the folks on the street. It takes a world effort. You need to know that. And it doesn't matter where you donate, just do what you can to help. This is going to be a massive, massive undertaking. And it's humanity that needs to take care of humanity. We can't wait for the government to do it or anybody else. It's us. We need to take care of each other. And someday this might be us, and we might be asking them to come get us across the border. So I think it's just the right thing to do. And I know you all feel the same way. So thanks for joining us. I'll throw some video on here so you can see some of our day. Bye.
I don't know if that's gonna fly.
Do you want a picture?
So,
do you want to be in that church?
Here we are in that church. No, it's okay. This is beautiful church. Isn't that pretty?
Beautiful city.
Beautiful city. But you notice there's nobody out? That's because the sound you hear here, we're under bomb threat. And we're in Ukraine. Okay.
Did you hit Amsterdam?
I need you to tell me,
What?
why are you not with a coat on? Did
Because
someone not show you that we have this massive storm? And so,
My heart is warm, and now my body is, because I gave my coat up.
So what does
Yeah.
that say? What does that say about Marcy?
Burning of the bosoms.
Oh.
What does that say?
Are you cold? We're,
It is cold. My hands are freezing.
so, why did you give your coat up? I know we're all smiling at that, but there's a story behind this I'd like to
There is a
capture.
family of 5, and they walked all day to get where they were at, and they're all soaking wet and chilled to the bone. So we just decided to take off
Mark.
what we have.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, it's very cool,
Isn't that cool?
super cool.
Have you ever given your coat away from somebody that needed it even more than they needed it?
Never,
No.
but it feels good.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, thanks for doing it. We are kind of hanging out here, having a little joyous time. We're watching this thing come at us, and we're thinking, I think we're about to get lightning and rained on badly. And the poor refugees, they'll have no place to go. We have a roof to go over our head. But thank you. Thanks for helping.
Loved it.